Hi, it's Penny here, and today I'm going to be putting together my TBR for the month of November. We're going to try and do it quickly because I need to leave the house soon, so we'll see how that goes. As usual, I'm going to be using my TBR machine website that spits out random reading prompts to pick the books, and I'm also going to be trying to make a realistic reading plan, which means I pick one physical book and one audiobook for every week of the month. So we've got 8 slots, 4 physical books, 4 audiobooks, although there are some books I kind of would like to fit in here. One is The Lost Medal by Brandon Sanderson. So this is the last book I need to read before Wind and Truth comes out to be all caught up on the Cosmere. But also, I've decided in terms of having realistic TBRs that books that are over 500 pages need to take 2 slots. So this is going to be a 2-slot book, and we're going to hopefully get it on the TBR using a prompt. And if it doesn't come up, I'll probably just cheat somehow. I do also have The 100,000 Kingdoms, which was on my October TBR, and even though October isn't quite over as I'm filming this, I have very much doubts that I'm going to fit this in, so I'd like to get this into November instead. And the same is true of Station 11. On my October TBR, I don't think I'm going to get to it, but also, oh, I've just remembered the audiobook is actually saying to me it's not going to get to me till the end of November. So we'll see whether we try to put that on the TBR or not. Maybe it's not a good idea. Anyway, let's see what prompts we get. Our first prompt is going to be read a book with blue on the cover. Ta-da! This has blue on the cover. Okay, so that's done. This is the 4th and final book in Mistborn Era 2, so set in the same world as the original Mistborn books, but this is more of like a Western world. I don't really like the main characters Wax and Wayne, but I have heard this last book of Mistborn Era 2 really links in more to the Cosmere, and so I'm hoping I will love that. Well, we'll see, I guess. Alright, that's the first prompt. Let's do another one. Read a book by an author you haven't read anything from before. I think what we'll do is I'll put Station 11 on because I haven't read anything by Emily St. John Mandel before. I'll put that in the last week of November though, because that starts on the 25th, so even if it doesn't come through like till the 28th like it's saying, we can probably make it work. And often library book, audiobook holds do come through a little bit early, so it could happen. All I know about Station 11 is I think there's some kind of pandemic and we're following this theatre group. I think it's like a more like connected short stories or something. I don't really know, but it has been really hyped, so I'm excited to read it. Okay, let's do another prompt. I got pick a book off your TBR with your eyes closed. I do have a little list over on my computer here of like priority books. What if I look over here and I wiggle my mouse around and then I stop my mouse and we look at what it's on? Do you trust me to tell you the truth? Do you? Where is my mouse? I can't see. Okay, we'll try again because it was nowhere near any of the books. What about this time? Where is it? Oh, okay. So it's on A Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North. This is actually the book I've had on my Goodreads want to read list for the longest, so I was wanting to pick it up sooner if I could, just so that I could start clearing up the bottom of that list, like books that I've been wanting to read for a long time. Let's actually get to them before I completely don't care anymore. So this is about a woman who, as soon as people don't see her, they don't remember her anymore. You might think that's similar to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This came out first, but also based on Claire North's books that I've written before, I feel like this will have more of the like functional side of that issue, not just the emotional side, and that makes me excited about it. What I do need to check is whether I'm listening to the audiobook or not. I think I would prefer the audiobook, but I don't know if the library has the audiobook. And I'm only going to pick this up if I can get it from the library. Oh no. I think this is only available as a physical book at my old library. I live in a new town now, so that is not helpful. What about my new library? Oh, my new library has the book, so we'll put a hold on it at my new library. But that means it'll have to go on the physical side of the realistic reading plans. Okay, another prompt. Read the highest rated book on your TBR. So let's look at Goodreads. The problem with this is that my Goodreads want to read list doesn't have series, and I do think some of the series I want to read could be rated higher than whatever comes up here. The highest rated on my Goodreads want to read list is Blood Over Brighthaven. I actually think though, given that this has just been traditionally published, that I won't be able to get my hands on it for a little while, so I think I'm not going to go with that. Let me look at some of the average ratings of my series I want to read. Look, maybe it's cheating, but I'm going to go with Ancillary Sword by Anne Leckie because I have this physically. Also, I'm planning to read the first book in the series, Ancillary Justice, like next week, and I'm expecting to super love this, so then I'll want to just go in straight to the next book. And also it's rated 4.08, which is pretty high. Maybe it's not the highest, but it's still really high, so we're going to count it, which means I probably won't be getting to this because we've already filled all our physical slots, which means we are going to be very limited for the remaining audiobooks. Okay, quickly, let's do 3 audiobooks, hopefully. The next prompt is, okay, so it's reread a book you've read before. I think we're going to hack this one because otherwise this is going to take too long and I'm going to be too annoyed about the prompts not giving me the books I want. So one of the books I do also want to read this month is Mirrored Heavens by Rebecca Roanhorse. The audiobook has just become available in New Zealand through Audible. For some reason it wasn't available for a really long time, like longer than I thought, but it is there now, so I'm going to get that and I'm going to listen to it. So this is the 3rd book in the, I can't remember the series name, Between Earth and Sky? Maybe. And it's kind of like pre-Columbian American mythology that the story is based on. We have a guy who was kind of made into a god. We have this priestess who can kind of see the future. It's been a while since I read the first 2 books. I'm going to read some plot summaries of those before I read this final book so that I'm ready to go into it. It is quite long, but I think that 500-page rule that I just made up doesn't hold for audiobooks, unless they're like 40-hour audiobooks, but I don't think this is that long. Anyway, that's going to go on the TBR. And then the next prompt. I got read a contemporary book, which normally I would try and skip. However, I remembered I also have a hold at the library for the audiobook of Death at Morning House by Maureen Johnson, who is the author of the Truly Devious series, which is like a YA thriller. Now, mostly I don't like YA thrillers, but there's a few that I have really loved, and the Truly Devious one is one of those. And so even though this is not connected, it's the same kind of thing, I think, where there's a bit of a mystery. I think Maureen Johnson's really great at writing mysteries while kind of interweaving it with the human elements of the story. So even though this says 5 weeks, since it's a new release, I think there's a chance that people will get to it quickly. It might come through a little bit early. Maybe I'll put this in the week before Station 11 and we'll hope that these plans will work out. Okay, one more prompt, one more spot to fill. Okay, I got read a book with a person on the cover. And you know, I think I want to hack this again. So what I would like to read is the latest Bobiverse book. It's called Not Till All Are Lost. So you'll notice the cover doesn't have a person on it. It has a spaceship, but Bob is a spaceship. That is a picture of Bob, I'm sure of it. He is a person because basically what happened is this rich software guy had himself frozen when he died, and then they put him into the brain of a spaceship, and he's able to like self-replicate himself. So then he's made a bunch of different spaceships that are different versions of himself, and they're just like going out across space and having a bunch of adventures, trying to save the last of humanity, discovering all sorts of things out in space, having different explorations with tech. There's a lot of like philosophy around tech and AI, and I really like these books. The latest book, I think it's the 5th book, has just come out. I want to read it, so let's stretch the rules and fit it in. So then I think when I look at this TBR, I'm pretty happy with it in terms of like how it lets me continue series and finish a bunch of series off, which is something I was trying to do before the end of the year, so that's good. Also lets me pick up a few of the new releases I was looking at. So actually I think I'm pretty happy with this TBR, and I think it should be realistic, but I guess only time will tell. Let me know if you've read any of these books, whether you think I'm going to like them. I'd love to chat with you about it down in the comments, or let me know if you're going to be doing any exciting reading in November. Do subscribe if you'd like to see more of my bookish videos. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are doing well, and I will see you next time.